All right, guys. So we are starting week 2 of series number 13. We did have the last 2 days off. I know that some of you accessed the videos that you missed before and you caught up, and some people did some extra sessions, so well done. And I mentioned in the email to you as well. So last week was really about just finding our rhythm and routine again. Something that I've been focusing on for the past week as well is just making sure I'm getting in about 2 liters of water every day. So it might not seem like you're dehydrated, but you know, Cape Town, we've got a lot of wind, and it's amazing how the wind dehydrates you. So just make sure you're staying on top of the water. And basically what they say is if you're feeling thirsty, it means you're already dehydrated. So, you know, you want to sort of stay in a place where you're not feeling thirst. And then for you guys that are overseas in the Middle East, sitting in the air con, also incredibly dehydrating as well. You might feel cool because of the air con, but it actually can dry everything out. So just making sure that you guys are staying on top of the water as well. And then what I'm incorporating this week, and you guys are welcome to do it with me. I know that Fina did it last time, and I think she's actually stayed on the habit, which is great, is doing a hot drink, hopefully first thing in the morning, but at some time during the day, with lemon slices, lemon juice, and some honey, and then ginger. I put in like quite a bit of ginger. I like it very gingery. And then if you want to give yourself that little extra metabolism boost, you put in a tiny bit, not too much, as Fina and I found out, a tiny little bit of cayenne pepper, nothing crazy. And it, first of all, is great for antioxidants, so immune system. It's great for metabolism, and then also the antibacterial qualities of the honey, really good. And the lemon, it sounds like it's the opposite, but it actually is alkalizing for the body. So, you know, we tend to have a very sort of acidic diet nowadays, just with a lot of the processed foods that we have. So the lemon actually alkalizes. So I don't know if anybody else has premature graying. I went gray when I was 15, guys. So this streak has been here since I was 15. And that apparently is a sign of someone who has sort of a high acidic content in the body. So, you know, the lemon for me is very, very beneficial. So if you guys want to try that with me, then you can try it this week and sort of see how you feel. Okay, so we're going to continue along the lines of a detox effect with the body in our movements today. And we're going to be focusing a lot on the twists and rotations, which is going to sort of stimulate all the joints. So we're going to do some compression moves, and then also a little bit of twisting around the midsection and the torso to start getting everything moving as well. All right. So guys, we're going to start lying on our backs. The only props that you're going to need today are your mat as per usual, and maybe a block if you would like to prop yourself up onto a block as well. So come and lie down on your back, and we're going to start in our reclined butterfly position. We've done this before. And if you need some support underneath thighs or knees, go for it. Pull the flesh of your bum out the back so that your lower back feels comfortable. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle around. Take your hands underneath your head and then literally lift your head up. Give yourself a little bit of a traction stretch. So you lengthen the back of the neck, place your head down, and then bring your hands down onto your rib cage, one hand on either side. And then just allow your eyes to close for a moment. And let your lips softly close as well, so that all your breath is in and out through your nose. And start connecting into your breath, letting your joints and your body make any final adjustments that you need. And what I'd like you to focus on with your breath is what is called an ujjayi breath. And it almost sounds like the ocean. So there's a gentle rasping sound at the back of your throat as you breathe in and out. And if there was a slight constriction in your throat, it's almost that you are allowing the breath to pass slowly past that constriction. And this ujjayi breath, or your ocean breath, actually allows you to slow down just a little bit more. And at any point, if it feels like you're straining too much into your breath, then just return to a natural breath for yourself and then resume that ujjayi breathing. And I'll remind you about this breathing as we go through today's class. Taking one more breath in and out. And then return to a natural, soft breath. And pause as you remember your intention, your dedication that you have set for Series 13. And just for a moment, keeping your eyes closed, staying in this reclined butterfly, allow your hands to float up off your ribs. You can lift your arms slightly and bring the palms of your hands together to touch, lightly rubbing your hands together, and just notice the heat, notice the warmth that you are creating between your hands. Cup your hands over your eyes, and then just blink your eyes open slowly, allowing the light to peep in. And then reaching both arms all the way up, reaching both arms all the way overhead. So you give yourself a good morning stretch. Clasp your hands together as you give an extra stretch. And then bring your hands forward. Place your hands underneath your thighs and help yourself as you bring your legs all the way up together slowly. Now take your hands just a little bit wider than your mat, palms down. Lift your right leg over your left leg so it's crossing, and starting with a very small rocking action. So just rolling over your sacrum from side to side, very small. Chest nice and open. See if you can let the back of your neck relax. Find the weight of your head, those occipital bones, onto the ground. And then when you're ready, let your legs roll towards the left. So your right thigh is resting on top. See if you can bring your right foot to rest onto the floor. If that feels like too much of a strain, then maybe put a block or a pillow underneath your foot. But you want to allow that foot to be supported to the ground. And if you are super duper flexible, you might be able to roll your leg a little further. And some people can let their knee rest on a block or on the ground. Just see where it feels best for you. And then turn your head to look over your right shoulder. You can allow your eyes to close or you can keep them open. But in this position, in this twist, you come back to that ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean. Taking 5 deep, slow breaths in and out. Listening to that rasping sound. And if anyone's had the opportunity to lie on a beach and listen to the waves or sleep next to the ocean, it's that same sensation. It's incredibly soothing. It can almost bring you into a little bit of a trance-like state. Allow your breath to transport you into that same place. Soften. Release and breathe. Taking one more breath in and out. Return to your natural breath. If your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes. Bring yourself slowly back to the center. Use your arms, use your legs, use your abdominals, those obliques. Draw yourself back to the center and then bring your knees towards your chest. Place your hands just on top of your knees. If you need to wiggle out your spine a little bit, you can. And then slide your hands down towards your ankles, holding on so you come into a little bit of a deeper hip release here for a moment. So there's less emphasis on the twist right here. There's more emphasis around your pelvis and the hip joint, finding that softness across the collarbones, the neck, the weight of your head. And you can stay with the natural breath. In this position, you don't necessarily have to go into that ujjayi breathing or the ocean breath. Soft inhale, soft exhale. And then when you're ready, release, uncross your legs, and just hug both knees in towards you. Put your hands at the back of your thighs. Round yourself into a ball shape. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch around the kidneys. And then tiny, tiny rocking. Tiny. Just finding that opening across the lumbar spine. Release back to the center and lower head and shoulders all the way back down. Take a moment to find a softness and release along your diaphragm. Place your right foot to the ground. Cross your left thigh over. Take your hands just a little bit wider than your mat. Again, palms down. And again, start small. So it's that gentle rolling side to side. Just across your sacrum. Find softness through your upper body, your neck, the weight of your head. And then on your next breath, roll your legs to the right this time. So now your left leg is going to be pulling you across slightly. See if you can find the ground with your left foot, and if not, put a block or a cushion underneath your foot for support. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper, and remember that this side might be a little bit different from the first side. Turn your head to look over that left shoulder, and I invite you to close your eyes again and come into your ujjayi breath. Finding the sound of the ocean, that gentle rasping along the back of your throat. Allowing yourself to slow down and taking full conscious breaths in and out. Notice how your body softens and releases with each breath. Finishing your last Ujjayi exhale. And then return to your natural breath. Allow your eyes to open if they're closed. Help yourself as you come all the way back to the center. Move gently because that's quite a deep rotation around the lumbar spine. Bring both knees up. Hands to knees as you allow yourself to settle, and then slide your hands down towards your ankles as you come into that deep piriformis release. Bring your awareness and your focus towards the hips. A little bit of softness through the neck and shoulders. And again, this is a little bit of a compression pose. So again, promoting circulation through those major joints of the body. And then on your next breath, let go, release, hug both knees in towards you. Slip your hands just behind your knees, round your spine, so you're getting that little stretch across the kidneys again. And once again, it is a tiny, tiny rocking action. We're not doing rolling like a ball. It's just a little bit of a lower back massage. And then settle yourself, release back. Just allow your upper abdominals, your diaphragm to release. And then put both feet to the ground with your knees bent. Separate your legs a little bit so they're in a comfortable position for you, and take your hands to the ground. We're going to do one pelvic curl, one bridge. So get yourself set up. Start tilting your pelvis, rolling all the way up into a bridge position. So remember that you don't want any strain around the lower back. So if you need to separate your feet, go for it. Focus on that little tilt of the pelvis so you really get gluteals to engage, get that opening at the front of the pelvis. And now once again, allow your eyes to soften or to close and suspend yourself. Can you allow your back of your leg, your gluteals and your hamstrings to support you? And can you find a little bit of softness around your belly, a softness around your sternum, relaxing along the back of your throat? So this is, again, a little bit of a compression into the back of the throat, and this can stimulate the thyroid as well. And with that constriction along the back of the throat, can you bring yourself to your Ujjayi breath again? That gentle rasping, keeping your lips gently sealed as you breathe in and out through the nose. Relax across the upper shoulders, the upper back, and gently connecting your arms to the floor. Suspend yourself. And oftentimes in Pilates, when we come up into this pelvic curl or bridge, we talk about the muscles working and supporting you. And so obviously they are now, otherwise you wouldn't be able to hold this position. But our mental focus is switching to breath and suspension. And in your own time, blink your eyes open, start to ripple down through your spine. Take your time returning to your natural breath, and then just allow yourself to settle at the bottom. Maybe wiggle the knees from side to side, a little bit of a rocking action through the pelvis, and just notice the warmth, the tingling, the awareness through your body. So I feel quite a bit of it around my upper back right now and around the back of my throat after that little compression. Come back to the center. Bring your right knee in towards you. Now, instead of holding the back of the leg, hold onto the top of the leg with your hands interlocked, just below the knee. Wiggle your spine out, and then slide your left leg all the way out along the ground. Now, relax your feet. You want them to be floppy. Let your leg come a little bit, your right leg, a little bit towards the right. Bring your knee around the side of your ribs towards your right armpit, and then level out your shoulders, which means you probably have to really activate your left arm. Soften your belly, tuck your chin in, soften your gaze, but don't actually close your eyes, and come to your Ujjayi breath. We're going to do 3 breaths in and out. And keep gently drawing your knee towards your armpit. So this is quite a strong compression on the right hip. And this is related to the large colon, the ascending colon. So this is wonderful for digestion, for detoxing. Soften your feet, lengthen the back of your neck. 1 more breath in and out. And then return to a natural breath. Release slowly as you unclasp your hands, stretch your legs out. Just let your feet flop and notice how you have this energy, the circulation moving up and down the right side of your body. So that's also increased blood flow after that compression at the hip. And now bring your left leg up in towards you. Again, clasp your hands just below the knee joint. Find a little bit of length along the back of your neck. You're going to let your knee come to the left. Bring your knee up towards the left armpit, floppy feet, and then start to level out your shoulders. So this time you have to activate the right arm, your right bicep almost. And keep relaxing feet, soften your belly, soften your gaze, and come into your Ujjayi breath. 3 inhales, 3 exhales. Drawing your knee a little bit tighter each time so that you come into that compression pose. And if you have any kind of hip issues like bursitis or impingement, then please obviously take it nice and easy. Make the modifications that you need for your own body. And on your last breath, release, return to a natural breath. Slowly, slowly stretch your leg out. Let your feet flop, arms beside you, and notice that new awareness of the left side of your body. That is connected to the descending colon of your digestive system. And now take your time as you bring both knees up towards your chest. Now, depending on the flexibility of your hips, you want to keep your big toes next to each other. Don't overlap one foot on top of the other. You can either interlock your fingers again, like we did a second ago. If you're one of those super duper flexible people, you can actually hold hand to elbow and cross your forearms over your knees, and then bring your head down. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, my lower back lifts up when I try to do that. So I'm going to do hands interlocked. Find a little bit of length along the back of your neck. And then once again, floppy feet, soften your belly, and start to draw your knees a little closer towards your chest at the same time that you feel your sacrum and your lower back lengthen along the ground. Ujjayi breath. And this is now connecting into the transverse section of your large colon. All acting on our digestive system. Remember I said we're bringing our awareness to a bit of detoxing this week. So this is great for our detox. Keep sliding your shoulders away from your ears. And then on your next breath, softening your breathing, releasing your legs down, stretch your legs all the way out, and once again, let your legs flop, noticing the circulation moving up and down both sides of your body as you rest here for a moment. And then start to bring your legs close together. Reach your arms all the way overhead. I want you to hold your left hand to your right wrist and start to just laterally flex your spine so you can wiggle your spine over and almost do a little bit of a pull on your right wrist and then settle your shoulders and arm. If it's really hurting, then you've gone too far and backtrack. Then pick up your right ankle and cross it over the left leg and close your eyes. So you've come into a banana shape, a crescent shape with your body. And we oftentimes do this standing up. Remember, we do our lateral flexion. But now with your body completely supported by the ground, you can actually rest into it. So it's a very, very soft release of the right side body. Getting an opening along the right side of your ribs. Bring your awareness to your right lung, the right intercostal muscles on the rib cage, and your right diaphragm. Full breaths in and out. You don't have to do Ujjayi breath here. You can stay with a normal breath. There's no sense of compression. It is a sense of opening and release. One more breath in and out. And then if your eyes are closed, you can open them. Uncross your right foot. Bring your arms straight up overhead so that your spine is in a lengthened straight position. Switch so that you're holding your right hand to your left wrist. Start to wiggle your spine over to the other side. A little bit of a pull on that left wrist, and now your left ankle steps over. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, and just allow yourself to be fully supported by the ground underneath you. Coming into banana shape so that your left side body is opening and lengthening. full deep breaths, bringing awareness to the left ribs, intercostals, and the left diaphragm. Finishing your last breath in and out. Step your left foot off to the side. Bring yourself all the way back to the center and give yourself one more long stretch. Bring both hands up towards the sky. Flex your ankles, squeezing inner thighs together, and we're going to come into roll-ups. Keep your hands where they are. Lift your head to look forward. If you need to assist yourself with anything under the lower back, do so. If you need to assist yourself with your hands next to your legs, do so. But see if you can come all the way forward into that beautiful stretch, hamstring release. Roll all the way upright into a sitting position, and then curl yourself all the way back. So this is a little twofold that we're doing here, hands above your chest. We're activating abdominals, we're waking them up, roll forward, and then as you come forward, we're giving ourselves a hamstring release here that we haven't done yet today. Roll all the way upright, sitting up nice and tall. And then curling back. Such lovely articulation of the spine. Hands floating up. We're going to do two more. Lifting your head. Exhale. Abs are connecting. Coming into that hamstring release. All the way over you go. Roll up. Lifting up tall. Curl back. Nice work, everyone. And we're going to do one more. Make it the best one that you can. Lift your head. Abdominals. Squeezing inner thighs. Flexing toes. Long stretch over for a hamstring release. And then unravel to lift up straight. And releasing your arms. So if you've come forward on your mat, you can maybe wiggle back. If your pants have wiggled down, you can pull them back up again. And all I want you to do is to bend your left leg just a little bit out towards the side, and then pick up your right foot and just put the heel in front of that ankle. So you're not crossing all the way over. Take your left hand a little bit behind you, and then just allow yourself to slump. So you're actually sinking back. There's very little effort involved here. And then slide your right hand just to the inside of your knee, palm forward. We inhale to lift up and come into a gentle spiral. And exhale, sink back. It's almost like a sigh. And again, inhale. And exhale. So there's no forcing whatsoever. Spiraling, just guiding yourself into this gentle movement. Last two. And release. Last one, inhale. And exhale, release. And then coming all the way up. Now keep the left leg where it is. Unfold the right leg out to the side and just bring your foot in as close as you can to your inner thigh. Flexing the right toes gently. Place your fingertips just behind your back and just close your eyes for a moment. This is called the half dragonfly. And again, we did this the other day. I'm bending my elbows a little bit, by the way, otherwise I feel like I hinge forward a bit. So this is really about aligning the pelvis and the sacrum. So For any of us that maybe have lower back issues, this is a really easy way to align yourself. Taking just a few more moments here. And then release, open your eyes, and now I want you to stretch your left leg all the way out. So now this is called the full dragonfly. So if you need to bend your knees, you bend your knees. Keep your toes lifted, bringing your hands once again behind your back for a little bit of support. I'm bending my elbows, otherwise I hinge forward too much. And again, closing eyes and simply noticing the weight of your pelvis on the right and on the left. Allowing your spine to align itself from your sit bones up and allowing the energy to push through the heels of your feet from the sit bones forward. Take a nice easy breath in. Open your eyes, and then you're now going to bring your right foot in. Step your left foot over so the heel is just in front of that ankle. Place your right hand behind your back and flop. Just let yourself sink into it. Very, very easy. Bring your left hand just inside, and we inhale, gentle spiral, and it's a sigh back. And again, inhale, soft release, and breathing. Two more. No forcing, just allowing your breath to guide you. And release. Unfold your left leg out to the side, bringing your right leg in as tight as you can manage. Keep the toes lifted. Support yourself behind your back, and once again coming into the half dragonfly, but on the other side. Closing your eyes. Can you sit evenly on the right and the left bum cheeks? Allow yourself to realign. Energy up through the crown of your head. And on your next breath, blink your eyes open. And now unfold your right leg to the side as once again we come into the full dragonfly. Make any adjustments that you need. Now you can either keep your hands behind you or move your hands to the front and start a little bit of a hinging action forward. So it's not a collapsed feeling of the spine. It's that long sensation, and if you want to walk forward, you can. If you want to bend your elbows and come a little bit lower, you can. And we settle here into dragonfly. And this is, again, a connection into a detox because it works on all of the meridians that work on the kidneys, on the bladder. Keep your toes gently pointing up towards the sky. Allow yourself to soften and release. Softening into the back of your neck. And on your next breath, bring yourself slowly all the way back up, placing hands just behind your knees as you help yourself bring your legs all the way together. And now turn yourself onto all fours. So sitting up, hands below shoulders, knees below hips, and then start moving into a cat stretch. Rounding your spine up towards the sky, and then lengthening your spine and moving towards a little bit of an extension. And again, rounding your spine up. Lengthen, lift tail, heart, and gaze. So just finding that bridge between your upper body and your lower body as you move. Last one. Rounding your spine. And now just come back into the center and hold it here. Balance on your left hand. Reach your right arm out to the side and coming into a thread the needle. Resting head, resting arm, and then sliding the left arm all the way forward. So we're just getting that extra little stretch around the lats. And once again, bring yourself into an ujjayi breath. So we're coming into a little bit of a constriction around the throat. Finding that release around the side of the neck, between the shoulder blades, and allow the ujjayi breath to just hold you in the space, breathing past that constriction. And then on your next breath, return to a natural, easy inhale, exhale. Bring your left hand in, reaching that right arm all the way out to the side. Pause for a moment. Notice the ease around your right neck and shoulder, and then placing the right hand down. Reaching left arm out towards the side and threading the needle through. Placing head, shoulder, sliding your right arm forward and finding that extra little release. Bring yourself to ujjayi breath. Find the sound of the ocean. Just allowing yourself to settle here. And return to a natural breath as you bring your right hand in. Bring yourself all the way up, reaching the left arm out, and then pause for a moment and notice after that compression through the neck and shoulders, that gentle release. Bringing your hand all the way in. Now take your hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. Take your knees and feet a little bit wider than your hips. We're going to be coming to a downward facing dog. So tuck toes under. And then before we actually move up, we're going to just sit back to get a stretch around the toes and release forward. So some of you have done these series with me before, where I've spoken about the meridians that run through the body. And there is a particular stretch called the toe stretch that actually connects every single meridian in the body. So normally when we do a certain stretch or a release, it maybe addresses 1 or 2 meridians. This gets all the meridians. So a little bit of a toe stretch and release. Now let's go into our downward facing dog. Hover your knees, move your hips back and up so you're really stretching through the arms. Relax your neck, and then let's do the little pedaling of the heels and of the feet. Getting that lovely stretch along the back body. Achilles tendons and all the way up the calf muscles. Send both heels towards the ground. Now I'm going to ask you to stay here for 5 breaths in and out. And it's a beautiful opportunity to try Ujjayi breath. Oftentimes we come into this position and maybe our bodies are tired and we don't find it that easy to hold it. And connecting into that Ujjayi breath allows us to suspend. Taking one more breath in and out, slow, conscious, deliberate. And then blink your eyes open, soften your knees and walk your feet halfway up your mat. Line up your toes, walk your fingertips back towards your feet, so now your feet are flat. And give your head a little shake, no? Nod your head, yes. And then ever so slowly, bend your knees and roll up through your spine, coming all the way upright and lifting nice and tall. So I'm just coming off my mat a little bit so that you can see what I am doing here. Rolling your shoulders back and around, and then just allowing your arms to settle. So I want you to bring your feet right next to each other. I want you to take your arms out to the side. I'm going to do a mirror image of you. So you're going to take your right hand and bring your elbow underneath. So you guys should have your right elbow under and your left hand is in front of your face. Now bend your knees and let's just do a few juicy little bounces with the knees. Few juicy little bounces. And now bend your knees and stay. Balance on your left leg and see if you can pick up your right thigh and cross it over. Now listen, if you're losing balance, put your tippy toes on the floor to help you. If you feel that you can hold this, maybe you can wrap your right foot around the back. If you lose balance, then simply put your toes to the floor. Now here's the other thing you could do, is if you have the flexibility, you could wrap your hands together. This is a compression for every major joint of the body. Squeeze shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. Squeeze hips, knees, and ankles. Bend your knees a little bit deeper if you can. Now, when you unwrap, let go, feet together, stand up, and can you feel all that energy and circulation are moving after that compression, right? Now, this is your left hand. We're doing mirror image. I want you to bring your left elbow under. Hook it there. Bend your knees. And let's do a few little juicy bounces. So you want to make sure that your heels are down, by the way. If your heels lift up, it's going to be very difficult to balance. Stay there. Pick up your left leg and just wrap it over. And again, if you're losing balance, put your tippy toe to the floor. If you can, you wrap your foot around. If you can, you bind your hands. Now, it is so tempting to let the body twist. So can you now line your elbows up with your knees? It's a lot of work, guys. Keep breathing. See if you can sink a little deeper. Squeeze wrists, elbows, shoulders. Squeeze ankles, knees, and hips. And now release, let go. And when you stand up and stretch, you should almost feel like you're floating. And then allow your arms to settle. Beautiful. Separate your feet. I'm just turning sideways. I just want you to close your eyes for a moment. And let's just take a few Ujjayi breaths here. Allowing yourself to slow down. Finding the sound of the ocean. Return yourself to a natural, gentle breath. Noticing the sensations in your body. Noticing your joints. Noticing your circulation, your energy. And taking just a moment to remember your intention. Breathe it in, absorb it. Breathe it out, and letting it go. Blink your eyes open as we finish with one roll down. You're going to look down towards your feet, curling forward through your spine. Finding the ease of your movement, the ease of your joints. Take a little breath at the bottom. And then exhale, unravel. All the way up. You come again. And lifting tall. Nicely done, guys.